Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video. For the scent of the day, I'm just doing something really simple today, and I put this oil inside of my oil diffuser. And this one is called VIP, and it has a really strong cologne smell. And I got a whole bunch of these kinds of oils from my local mall. There's this little store in there that has like all these homemade oils and incense and stuff, and I just love that store, so I grabbed a few of these last time I was in there. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you took a moment and subscribed and also hit that notification bell so you will never miss anything interesting. And I also do upload every single day on Instagram and Reddit, so if you like content that's updated daily, be sure to go give me a follow. So guys, you know what's coming. We're gonna do a thorough, in-depth review of this Ipsy Glam Bag X, and we're gonna dig deep into the reviews for every single product included today. So if you guys are interested in seeing what's in here and what my thoughts are on this, then stay tuned. So as always, before we get into the direct unboxing, I always like to give a little quick info about this box in case you're unfamiliar. The official title is called the Ipsy Glam Bag X. And this box ships out to you every quarter, so every 3 months, and it comes at a cost of $55. And Ipsy's strategy as a whole is to offer 3 different tiers of bags, and the one we're going to be looking at today is the largest tier. And something else interesting about this box is that everyone has a different curator. And for this box, the celebrity that picked all these items is Addison Rae. And if you're not sure who Addison Rae is, she's a TikTok social media personality. So the first thing that I like to spend a little bit of time on and discuss is the product guide. And this will generally be the first thing that you pull out of your box, and this is a very informative thing. And each one of these newspaper ones kind of generally follow the same outline, but they're a little bit different, and I noticed something really extremely different inside this one, and when we get there I'll show it to you. So the front page usually just features a large photograph of the curator and kind of describes why she wanted to curate with Ipsy in the first place. And then when you open it up, it discusses all the products that she picked, and it gives you information and pricing for each one. And the centerfold features all the products that you could have picked, and likewise it gives a description and pricing information about each one. But here's what I noticed that was different inside of this product guide than all the other ones I've ever seen. At the bottom right here, it says, due to global supply chain issues, not all products featured here are guaranteed for inclusion in this Glam Bag X assortment. So of course, I've already watched some unboxings of this box, and what happened is that some of these unboxers didn't get some of the products that they were supposed to have in their box. And now that I read this, I'm wondering if that's Ipsy's illegal way of saying, hey, that's gonna happen. I just thought it was interesting to point out because I have never seen that before. And some more noteworthy things in this guide is that you have a nice little quiz to get to know the curator more. And on the back, they have a nice outline tutorial, so if you want to learn how to get the look using the products in your box, you can just follow along and learn how to do it. So as for the last part of the section, I want to talk about the contents of the box. So what happens is that Ipsy and Addison Rae curate the box with 5 specific items that she picks. And then I personally get to go into the app and select 3 products of my choosing. And then if you continue ordering any add-ons, those add-ons ship with your order. So you should have 8 full-size features in your box plus whatever add-ons that you choose to get. So now we're all said and done with that section. Now let's get right on into the unboxing. The way we're going to do this is we're going to start with the 5 items that Ipsy chose on my behalf first. The first thing in my box is from Color Wow, and this is called the Extra Large Bombshell Volumizer, and this does cost $26. Now let me tell you a little bit about this, okay? Of everything in my box, this was the one thing I was most excited about. I couldn't wait for my box to get here because I wanted to try this so bad. So as soon as my box arrived, this is the first thing I pulled out and I instantly tried it. And let me tell you, I have never been let down more. So unlike other volumizers that I'm pretty familiar with, you have to start with wet or dampened hair with this one. And if you take note of this dispenser, you'll see that it comes out as a foam. So I don't really like that because it kind of makes your hands gross and sticky when you're trying to apply it. And after letting my hair dry and everything, I did not get the bombshell result as claimed. And it really left a crispy feeling in my hair, kind of like if I used a Mega Hold hairspray. And I also want to note that this does not have the best scent either. Now, ever since I discovered the IGK Beach Club spray, I have been loyal to that one, and I figured I would use this one to kind of change things up and maybe even find something better. But I totally prefer the IGK to this one. The next thing in my box is from Aceology, and these are called the Multivitamin Brightening Biodegradable Sheet Masks. and these cost $59 for a box of 4 of them. So here's what they look like, and of course one's gone because I used it. And let me tell you, these are the first ever biodegradable masks that I've tried. And the first thing that I noticed is, since they are composed of that biodegradable type of material, when you're trying to initially unfold it to put it on your face, it's very, very easily able to rip and tear. Secondly, these are very heavily soaked in the serum essence that's inside, so it makes for an extremely messy, dripping application. One thing I did like is the fit of the mask. It fits excellent. There's actually special cuts in the bottom of the mask so it can correctly and perfectly configure to any facial shape. And these actually do have a longer wear time on them. You have to wear them for 30 minutes. After my time was up and I took it off, I did notice that it left a kind of a tacky residue on my skin that didn't completely absorb. Now the next product we're going to talk about is this eye cream, and this is from MZ Skin. And now this has a long name, so bear with me. This is called the Soothe and Smooth Hyaluronic Brightening Eye Complex. And this costs a whopping total of $143. So here's what the little packaging looks like. It's very cute, but inside is what counts. And it is a very, very rich, thick, luxurious cream. I kind of noticed a very light floral scent with it, but it was nothing obnoxious. When I applied it, I did notice it felt so nice and invigorating on my eye area. And one thing I absolutely loved is that it gave me the hydration, but it completely absorbed without leaving any source of residue. So if you're looking for something that's great for under makeup, this would definitely be a great choice. I'm not usually a person to be impressed by an eye cream, but I actually really, really love this. The next thing I'm pulling out of this box is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is the Old Clear Brow Gel, and this costs $22. So it's a very simple packaging, as you can see, but let me say I have been using this product for years, and it is most definitely one of the best brow gels I have ever tried. Although it's been on the market for what seems like forever, it definitely holds its own to the brow products that are being released today. In my experience, this is a very strong holding brow gel, so if you're a person that really likes to change the direction of your brow hairs, this will do it for you. I would like to point out that when it dries, it does give you kind of a firm, crispy finish, so if you're kind of against that, this would not be a product for you. But if you do choose to use this, you'll put it in your brows and your brows will last all day long without the slight bit of movement. And this is the last product that Ipsy chose on my behalf. And this is a lipstick from Uoma Beauty. And now this also has a long name, so also bear with me. This is called the Black Magic Hypnotic Impact High Shine Lipstick, and this costs $24. So here's the packaging on it, and I got mine in the shade Love. And when I first examined this, I noticed that some really beautiful intricacies went into the creation of this. My camera has a hard time focusing, but I hope you can see the amount of detailed engraving around the bullet and the complete deliberate covering of glitter around the entire thing. I just find it to be shockingly beautiful. As far as the color goes, I noticed that it applies a little bit lighter in tone than the bullet suggests, and it kind of also applies a little bit more neutral leaning. And this is also one of those lipsticks that I definitely recommend using a lip liner with because it's more of that softer, mushy formula. So if you're not careful, it can get out of control really quick. When I apply this, I get an extremely high shine, as the name claims. And I also don't find any apparent gleaming glitters on my lips. I do like the fact that it completely smooths out my lip lines, but I also want to make note that it has a very strong fragrance and taste. Now we're going to quickly slip into my customization items, and these are the products that I selected from the available choices on Choice Day. The first thing we're going to start with is from Firma Beauty, and this is their 3-piece detail brush set, and this costs $25. And the first thing I want to say is that I completely love this brand's brushes. I have quite a few of them, and I always reach for them. Every single one that I own has performed for me wonderfully. So for me personally, when I create an eyeshadow look, I like to use very small detail brushes, and if you've ever watched one of my eyeshadow tutorials, you probably know that. So having a small detail brush set from a company that I already love is perfect for me. Here's what the brush heads look like. And I find that these brushes are very soft, but they have enough density that allow you to really build up your eyeshadow. And I just love everything about these, and I'll be incorporating them into all of my future looks. The next product that I picked was from Hydra, and this is called the Waterless Clay to Foam Daily Cleanser, and this costs $60. Now on this channel, we support complete honesty and open and free speech. And let me just be that with you right now. I like everything that this has to offer, but this is possibly the worst cleanser I have ever used in my life. So initially you have to start with wet hands and a wet face because this is a powder formula. And when you actually start to pour some in your hands to begin the foaming process, it kind of coagulates in your hands and gets stuck to them. And the only way to get it off is with some intense scrubbing. The next thing is that the foam it's talking about, it just really didn't foam as much as I hoped. I kept rubbing my hands together, rubbing my face, wondering when the foam was gonna come, and it just pretty much was non-existent. I also used this on a completely full face of makeup to assess its power in cleansing, and let me tell you, it did not remove any of my makeup. And after I rinsed it off and towel dried it and everything, it left my skin with the driest ever feeling. So the truth is, I don't like anything about this product and I will not be using this again. My next choice item is from Keys Soul Care, and this is called the Harmony Mask. And this costs $28. So here's what the little packaging looks like. It's really cute. And as soon as I opened the lid on this thing, I got a really strong herbal aroma from it. But I personally like fragrances like that, so it didn't bother me at all, but I did want to point that out. The actual product itself has a very soft and yielding texture. And after application, I left this on my face for about 20 minutes. And something really cool about this is the way it dries down. It dries to a very unique, darkened, shimmery, pewter-like finish. I don't have another mask that looks quite like this. When it came time for removal, I did experience some problems trying to remove it. It was very stuck to my face. But when I did finally get it off, it left my skin feeling and looking amazing afterward. And I didn't have that immediate feeling of having to follow up with any moisturizer or anything. I just felt completely satisfied with this and this alone. And the last thing we're going to talk about is not part of my box, but this is an add-on. And this is from Naked Cosmetics, and this is their lip scrub, and it costs $10. So here's what that looks like. And this is really not my typical formula of lip scrub that I usually go to. In my opinion, it has quite the odd ratio of oils to sugars, but I actually quite enjoyed using this. I found it to be really effective in removing built up dried skin on my lips. But as it was doing that, it also provided me a significant amount of hydration to the area. I found it to be very easy to remove any excess, and it does have a really nice peppermint flavor. So now we're gonna get into my favorite and least favorite products. So as far as my favorite product, that place goes to this eye cream. Can you guys believe that I'm picking a skincare product as my favorite product in the box? I was a little shocked at that myself, but I really can't get enough of this stuff. This has got to be the most luxurious eye cream that I have ever tried in my life. I love every single thing about it, and I just have a feeling that I'm gonna end up using this really quickly, and I'm really not loving that $143 price tag if I love it that much. And now we're gonna get into my least favorite item, and I'm guessing you guys already knew this. This is the Hydra face cleanser. I just honestly can't with this product. I do love the idea that you get 200 plus washes in here. It's in sustainable packaging. It's got nice clays in it to really give you that deep cleanse. But in my opinion, this just wasn't executed right. And it's not really as powerful as a cleanser as I typically like to use on my skin. And if it's not really removing my surface level makeup, then I don't really know what it's doing. So I'm just not really loving this. Alright guys, now let's get into the third part of this video, which is my overall experience, and let's run some numbers. First thing we're gonna talk about, as always, is shipping. My shipping was great. I got my box on February 12th, and as you know, I like to get my boxes on or prior to the 20th of each month, so that was definitely before then, and I'm happy about that. Now we're gonna get into product balance. This particular box was very skincare heavy. We ended up getting 4 pieces of skincare, 2 pieces of makeup, 1 hair care, and 1 tool. And now I either prefer my boxes to be more makeup heavy or perfectly well balanced. So as this being a skincare heavy box, it really didn't satisfy me in that department. Now we're going to talk about the brand names in here versus the new brands I was introduced to. I came up with a 75% familiarity rate with this, and that just means out of the entire contents of my box, I was familiar with 75% of the brand names in here. And now my overall box value came to a total of $387, and my percent value savings was 86%. And that's a rather high percentage, and that just means that I actually saved 86% by subscribing to this service versus buying all these products individually at their respective stores. Now we're gonna get into product value. I came up with a total of $6.88 spread out over each item. And now I like to look in my box and see if I would pay $6.88 for any one of these items. And for this box, I have to say no for one of them, and that would be the Hydra cleanser. Personally, that cleanser holds absolutely no value to me because I wouldn't get any use out of it, so I definitely wouldn't be paying any money for it. Now I added a new category in here, and we're gonna talk about product availability. I just thought this was interesting because I wanted to know how many products in this box were actually sold at makeup stores versus how many products are only sold on their brand website. So I did the research, and one of these products is a luxury store product, and that's the eye cream. That eye cream is sold at Saks, Fifth Avenue, and at Nordstrom and stores like that are very high-end luxury. And then 4 of the remaining products in this box you can personally buy at Sephora or Ulta. And then the 3 products that are left, you can only purchase on the brand websites. So when it comes to this category, I definitely want to see the higher numbers when it comes to luxury stores and like the makeup stores like Sephora and Ulta. And I want to see less of the brand website products. And for my overall box rating, I gave this box a 7 out of 10. I'll just tell you that I wasn't really excited for this box curation. The hero products that were slowly introduced to kind of get you excited about this box really just didn't do it for me. And then when it came time on choice day, I was very disappointed in the options that I was given for choice. So upon actually getting my box and trying the products, I was actually happy with a lot of what I tried, but then there were a few that severely let me down. And it just really sucks so much when you're looking forward to something so much, and then when you finally get to use it, it's nothing like you anticipated. So in conclusion, this box is definitely not my favorite Ipsy Glam Bag X that I've ever received in my life, but I'm still very thankful and grateful that I was able to buy it. So let's go over some of the box controversy really quick. And this next thing that I'm going to talk about, I kind of just added it in this section because I didn't really know where it fit in this video. But when I was kind of looking over things, I was wondering why my box got curated with 2 different types of masks. And usually you don't see that. If they see that you're already getting one mask, they kind of try to substitute other items in so you're not getting duplicates of the same types of products. So it was just interesting to me that I did end up getting 2 types of the same product. And the next thing I would like to talk about is something that I did refer to a little bit earlier on in the video, and that's all these unboxers and reviewers that already did their unboxings. They aren't getting some of the products that were promised to them. And honestly, I have no idea what's going to happen about that. I don't know if it's a legitimate supply chain issue or if Ipsy just didn't order enough, but I don't know if they're going to be refunded for those products or if they're going to be sent out as soon as they do come in. But I am keeping my eye open, and I hope to hear news about that soon. And the last thing for the controversy section is, I do want to mention that I have never in my life seen people pitch so much of a fit about this box. And it's not just the Glam Bag X, it's specifically this quarter's curation with Addison Rae. Before even receiving their products or even choice day, everybody said it was dull, mediocre, and disappointing. So that was the word on the street before anybody even received any deliveries of their box. And I try to read enough to keep up with the general feel and ideas surrounding a box, but I really don't like to cloud my hope with anybody having such negative feelings before they even receive their box. So let me know down in the comments below, are we box twins? Do we get the same products? And if you don't get Glam Bag X, then what's your favorite product that I got, and what would you be the most excited to try out? And the last thing that I want to talk about that I always want to leave this video on is please try to do your best to either reuse, recycle all your box and shipping materials. So guys, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. And if you did, please give me a giant thumbs up. And if you didn't, just give me a quick thumbs down. And until next time, bye. What's about this box? No. What Smokey got in her mouth?
don't know.
She has a balloon in her mouth.
That's funny.
She's walking around with a little balloon hanging out of
She'll choke on that. You might want to get it out.
It's really big.
No, I know, but she'll try to chew on it and she'll get little pieces of rubber stuck in it.
Okay. And Ipsy as a whole has 3 different... I'm trying to finish up before 9 o'clock because my podcast comes on. So the first thing that I always like to talk about, and this... So the first thing that I always like to do... So the front page usually just features a large... But inside is what counts, and it is a very, very rich... No. And when I examined this, I noticed that some really beautiful intricacies were... And when I first examined this, I noticed that some really beautiful intricacies were what... Also, as far as the color... And I find the brushes to be incredibly soft. And I find that the brushes are very soft, but they provide... And I find that the brushes are very soft, but they have enough depth...